I'm going to show you a clip between Marc Lamont Hill, a black ideologue running the anti-racist playbook, and a man by the name of Chris Russo, who is fighting back against the woke cult that is engulfing the minds of Americans. I want to show you the setup, and I want to show you the brilliant answers that Chris Russo gives to what I would consider to be an attacker. I asked myself, and I know that he might have prepared, but I think that he gets an A+ for his answers, and I don't know that I could have answered in the same manner. So kudos to Chris Russo. Here is the clip.
Ask you, what, particularly if you're saying whiteness is a thing that is being constructed as negative and shouldn't be, name something positive that you like about being white.
Well, sure. I'll answer with a thing. There's a lot of documents that are floating around public schools that say things like timeliness, showing up on time, is a white supremacist value or a white value, white dominant value. Things like rationality, things like the Enlightenment, things like objectivity, and these are very strange things to be ascribed to a racial identity. My view is that these are actually should be ascribed to every individual human being, regardless of whatever racial category we impose on them.
Name something positive about that you believe is positive about being white.
Again, I don't buy into the framework that the world can be reduced into these metaphysical categories of whiteness and blackness. I think that's wrong. I think we should look at people as individuals. I think we should celebrate different people's accomplishments. And again, I think the idea you mentioned Ignatieff. Ignatieff says the goal is to, quote, abolish the white race. In any other context, this would be interpreted as a near genocidal slur. I don't buy into it. The reason I'm not going to answer your question is I reject that categorization. I think of myself as an individual human being with my own capabilities, and I would hope that we could both judge each other as individuals and come to common values on that basis.
You see what he's trying to do. There's no right answer to this question. He could state something positive about being white, and all he's doing is affirming the racial divide. He is saying that this is something positive that only would go with being the white race. And what he was talking about, it was from last year, the Smithsonian Museum came out with a chart of what is whiteness. And this was ascribed by black people: being on time, self-determination, the family unit, all these positive things that would help anybody who would employ them in their life. But they determined that that was white, and that if you adopted these things, then you couldn't necessarily be a victim. All that does is completely divide. We should all be able to take the strategies that work for other people and employ them into our lives. Being on time with friends is generally a good idea. Having the right to self-determination, that puts the onus on me and lets me know that I can direct my life in the manners that I want by the decisions that I make. But this is now whiteness. Marc Lamont Hill is trying to divide us down racial lines. Constantly seeing white, black. It's just melanin, people. It really doesn't mean much. It means that one group is better adapted to heavy sunlight. That's the only thing that melanin truly means. Maybe you're a little bit better at basketball, okay? Granted, but that's what it is. And all these identitarians on the left want to continue to divide us. And kudos to Chris Russo for his fantastic and wonderful answer, and just took him out. Marc Lamont Hill, you might be a slave to your ideology, but you got owned in this case. And I hope for more of it so that we can combat these haters, these leftists who want to continue to divide us. I want us to come together. Again, melanin in the skin ain't worth much. Peace out. Thumb up the video. If you're new, subscribe to the channel.